Hey, Dimitri. Happy birthday. I know it's your birthday weekend. I thought it was last weekend, but no problems. Super stoked that we've been able to do all this work together for the last couple of years. So thank you. Let's see here. I thought I'd just do a quick video for you regarding the Fortress of Flesh. So, and maybe I'll do a second video for setting up your own SHMUP Creator instance and what that project looks like for 2 minutes, but that's not now. So, okay. So I saw your feedback here, and so I just took a quick look at the images. So I pulled this together here. So all it is, I brought in the assets that you delivered, and here you can see this is the previous version of the skulls, and then this is the current version of the skulls. And you can just see that they're not quite 50% bigger. I took a quick opportunity to take the image that you sent me, which is this one here, this guy here, and then I scaled it down by 50%, and it's too small for that. So you can see here. So here's the previous version for comparison. But yeah, you can see like it doesn't quite fit as it should, but this version does. As we expected. So the other thing I thought I'd share with you is, I'm going to flip over to the engine real quick. So this is the reason why we had to do covers. Oh, I changed an asset. All right, cool. All right. All right, cool. Let's see here. It's weird. It's weird changing from Photoshop to SHMUP Creator. Slightly different control paradigms. Okay, so in the previous version of how we had the boss set up, I just made a rough copy here. So we have the plate, which is our skull, and then we only had a brain that was hidden under the plate, and I did some logic to where the brain wasn't awake as an enemy until the laser plate has been destroyed. So. And in our version, what the difference is, right, is that the brain plate also has all the gooey tentacle bits, which are great. Love the gooey tentacle bits. But what has happened, right, is that that meant that all the gooey tentacle bits are missing. Guys are missing from. How do you say? So they're missing from. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. What it is that we have where we had just the brain in the concept version, right? So now we actually have the tentacle bits on top of the brain. So then when you have the skull that is covering, and I need to adjust the render order here. Let's see. Come on, render order. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So yeah. So when so you can see here, right? So what's happening is that it's just conceptually we laid out the images different, which is fine. So all I did, right, is I basically I made a copy of the tentacle bits, and then I basically make it have no collision, and so that way we have this stuff showing in here. And then what happens now is when you destroy the skull, it kills this version, and then the version underneath is the version that you do damage to. So, yeah, so that's how we got to having a different image or different aspects. I didn't think about that until we actually implemented it, but I thought, I mean, yes, technically. So here's the other side of this, right? So let me see. Let me just make a copy of this guy. Can I do that? Yeah, cool. So the other thing that I found, kind of a happy accident, right? So is that when you shoot the brain piece, and I still only make pretty much the brain the only place that you can do damage to, but it makes the whole thing flash because it's all considered an enemy, right? And I was like, ooh, I kind of like that because it gives you as a player better feedback visually when you're doing damage to the hot spot, because then the whole tentacle mess then essentially is also glowing to show that it's taking damage, right? So, and if I really wanted to, I could potentially, also extend the collision for the tentacle bits to also be a damage region. But right now, we're not going to do that. So, in order to keep that effect, that's why I wound up having what I'm calling the cover swap, right? So, because I don't want it to flash when it's not ready to be attacked. but I do want it to flash when it is ready to be attacked. So then that's the logic for that. So yeah, and so then kind of flipping back here. Oh, maybe I should go and show you this. So all I did when all right, so this is the previous version. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I wound up doing, right, because we had the power of 2, I took, let me take a look. So I took the version you gave me, which was just the single image, because your versions were basically the full texture sheet for the main boss, right? So it was, I mean, I didn't actually have it all, but it was basically this, right? So I took one of these, and then I took each of your elements, and all I did was I basically did one of these, and then I figured out, what was it? So I think it was like this. So I dropped that guy in there like that. So I make sure I didn't. Yeah, that works. And then I went to the canvas, and because it's power of 2, it can be power of 2 in any direction. So then here, I think, so it needed to be, because 60, so it was 128 by, and I guess the height is 256. Oops. Let's take a look. Is that right? Let me take a look. And so yes, it's 128. And then did we, oh, okay. So it barely fits. I think that might be it. I think that was, yeah, that's not right. So the height, and we did do a 512. Yeah, so I think I want to say, take a look. Here, let's just do it the other way. All right, so so it's a 512 by 512. Yeah, so because I wanted to make sure I preserved the right ratio of pixels. So I didn't scale them. So I just basically took your giant image and I cropped it down to the nearest power 2 width and height here. So and then I basically just made a sprite sheet. So also the thing that I learned about this, because so moving forward, once we've identified the amount of frames that we want for animation, we should then start delivering those aspects. And this is a little bit later when we get to the animation part, but sooner we can set up the better. So we should deliver those aspects, even if they're not animated, in the format, because then that'll help us essentially keep the right pixel dimensions for the image as we construct them. Yeah, so that's all I did. I came in here, I did that, and then I delivered those back to you. So this was the same amount of pixels that was on the original image. So I think, yeah, so then, I mean, the short of it is, right, so this is your version right now. It's big and chunky, right? And then here's the version that I gave you, the 512 by 512. So essentially, you know, you've got it. I know you have this at this point. So, but I thought I'd make this video so you understood why we got to this place, and then just sort of the learnings there. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Happy birthday.